Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again to Quick Shot Reviews for Cheap Shot Entertainment. As ever, I'm your host Luke, and you are the Cheap Shot Nation. Just been to see, she said it's a film released in 2022 about the Weinstein scandal. Obviously Harvey Weinstein is a big Hollywood director, and had done a lot of very, very bad things to a lot of people, and they made a film out of it. But it was more through the journalist's eyes on this one. So we got a lot of talking on the phone, a lot of typing on computers, and not much else. And I'm going to struggle to pick anything out here, but it is a film released in 2022. I've already said that bit. Directed by Maria Schrader and starring Carey Mulligan and Zoe Kazan. Anyway, I'm going to get into the main part of the video where I'm going to explain what I thought of this film and my initial thoughts as to how this one panned out. And yeah, we'll join you there in the main part of the video. In the meantime, please do click the like button and subscribe, and join us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Cheap Shot Entertainment in various guises. I think Twitter is Cheap Shot Ent, because they wouldn't let me have any bigger. Anyway, we'll see you in the main part of the video. She Said is a movie about the New York Times reporters Megan Twohey and Jodie Cantor, and they are reporting to break one of the most important stories in a generation, and that is actually certainly very, very true. A story that helped ignite a movement, which is the Me Too movement, and shattered decades of silence around the subject of sexual assault in Hollywood, and obviously that spread across other things as well, including sports, and it was huge. But this film offers nothing else that you don't already know about this story. It really probably could have done better as a Netflix series or something along those lines. It borders along wanting to do more risque stuff. I think not that audiences won't care about this film. I'm sure people will enjoy it. It's certainly reasonably well made. The performances are as good as they can be with the subject matter, and you can tell the emotion in doing this, and it's a really important story to tell, which is fine, which is, you know, it's been told. But 2 hours, probably a bit overkill for something like this. Like I say, it is really important, but I'm struggling to find who this film was actually made for. Yes, you know, it's based on real events, but there was never a point where it wanted to cross that line to make you feel more for the main characters, more for the reporters, more for the actors, actresses that were victim of this horrible, horrible man. And it never, ever crossed that line. It talked about things to do with it, but I just feel like even though it would be really quite difficult to watch, I think that those kind of things added into this film, and a lot of bits in between cut out, would have made people feel more about this. But like I say, it's been going on for years. It probably still goes off now. I was more interested in the part where, you know, these things would happen, they'd pay them off and then swear them to silence. It still goes off now. I'm a huge wrestling fan. The biggest thing recently that's happened to anyone in the public eye is Vince McMahon and WWE doing exactly the same thing, paying people off for the silence. And that is just a thing that was in law at the time, and this is why laws change. This is why people look at laws and change them and just make things different, make change them so people can't get away with this stuff. I feel like I'm talking more political than the film, because there wasn't really a film here. There wasn't any reason, apart from it being the only thing available to go and watch, that I haven't watched already, that had any bearing on anything with this film. I feel bad, but I fell asleep 3 times during this film. The person next to me audibly sighed about halfway through the movie because nothing was happening. I'm not saying that there needs to be explosions and all that kind of stuff, but there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. There was nothing to bring you in. There was nothing to make you want the ending, which you already knew. It's so difficult to put things like this in place without characterization, without drama. And there was none of that in here. It was just people talking on the phone and then sitting on their computers writing about what they talked about on the phone, with a few bits in between. And there were so many rocks that they turned over and then didn't follow up. It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous how terrible this film is. For me, like I say, not for everybody. If you want to go and see it, go and see it. Absolutely, 100%. Give your money to the cinemas. But really, the main thing here is that movie makers, they've got to start coming up with their own stuff. Some of the best stuff that I've seen recently is not about real life events. It's not dramatizations. It's original content. And we struggle to get that these days. There's nothing original coming out in the cinema. Yes, everything's on a tried and true formula. You know, it's going to be really difficult to get anything new that's not been done before. It really is. But some of the best films I've seen, taking into account what I watched last week, go and check out the review of The Menu. Taking into account that film, yes, it's a tried and true method of filmmaking. However, it did things differently. I was invested in that film. I wasn't invested in this. There have been some real stinkers in 2022, and I hate to say this because I do seem to just never like films made by women. Not all the time, I will say that. But this again is touching on that topic that, you know, yeah, learn your lesson, men. You're horrible. we're not all horrible. Harvey Weinstein was a tyrant and a bully and a horrible, horrible human being. Just because he had a penis doesn't mean you need to tar everybody else with that brush. And this is another result of one of those kind of films that does exactly that. Rant over. Anyway, now I've lost about 6 million subscribers and I've only got 6,000. I think I better stop. Should you watch this film? From my point of view, no. If you want to watch this film, absolutely, go and see it. I will never ever tell you not to watch a film based on my opinion. And it is just my opinion. I'm sure someone along the line, and I've read some reviews, and there's lots of people that do like it. This one was just not for me. And I should know this by now, because every time something like this comes out, there's a line here that never gets crossed, and I feel like if you're gonna bring an audience in and make money on a film adapted from a book, no less, then you need to cross a line. It might be difficult for some people to watch, but that line, it does need to be crossed, because without it, you've got no film. It is literally exactly what I've just said it is, and that is people talking on the phone, people talking to each other, and then writing about it, and then we watch it. Come on, man. I'm going to be more entertained just reading up about all the stories in real life in the New York Times and all that kind of stuff than I was with this film. And with that, we're going to leave it there. So thank you very much for watching and or listening to this Quick Shot Review podcast. And I will see you next week. I'm not sure what we're going to watch yet. I've got some backlog of films that I would like to put up as well. So hopefully there'll be something on. There's not always something on, but hopefully there'll be something on next week that we can go and see. And I will speak to you again next week. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. I have, very Derbyshire of you, I have been your host, Luke. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Hiya.